This is the worst card in Pokémon TCG. Munkidori is a seemingly harmless card at a first look. It's not even that powerful as an attacker, doesn't have too many HP. Munkidori is overall a trash Pokémon, if I gotta be honest. Like, the whole trio and Pecharant are fine, except Munkidori design-wise. But this is actually one of the worst design cards ever in Pokémon TCG, as per recent releases. Now, what's the power of Munkidori? The power resides on its ability, Adrena Brain. Once during your turn, if this Pokémon has any dark energy attached, you can move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokémon to one of your opponent's Pokémon. This seemingly harmless effect, because it's just 30 damage, is when you combine this effect with a deck made on purpose to be annoying as possible. This is Wall. This is one of the many lists that people use and call Wall. Other cards that, for example, are not showed here are the Mimikyu, which has pretty much the same effect. The Wall deck is basically made of cards that are immune to the damage from Pokémon EX. As an example, here we have Farigiraf EX, which Armor Tail's ability says prevent all damage done to this Pokémon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokémon EX. And then we have Milotic EX. Prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Terra Pokémon done to this Pokémon. In this particular moment, all, or well, most EX Pokémon are also Terra Pokémon. And then we have Cornerstone Ogerpon, which says prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokémon by your opponent's Pokémon that have an ability. Mimikyu, if I recall correctly, says prevent all damage from EX Pokémon. Now, some list, I saw some players also using Terrapagos within this list to add something that actually packs some punch. The second attack of Terrapagos says that it's immune from damage on Pokémon that are not colorless. So it can only be damaged by colorless Pokémon. And Munkidori, in all of this, what does it achieve? It's very simple. This strategy, as you can probably understand, is not aiming to win by doing the most damage and picking up the most prize cards from your prizes. It's to completely lock your opponent from playing the game. Since most efficient lists run either EX Pokémon or Terra Pokémon or Pokémon that have an ability, this deck basically prevents most of the lists from playing. And Munkidori is here to remove any minimal damage you could have possibly done to this Pokémon, because, as I said, despite here having energies, it's not as reliable as having other decks, and most people still forfeit the match when they say Farigiraf or Milotic or Cornerstone hit the field. So yeah, and Munkidori is just here to remove any minimal damage that you could have possibly got from the opponent's attack and put it on your own Pokémon, which are going to be probably unevolved if you still managed to get some damage off, which means they're gonna be very much frail and they're gonna go down very easily. So This whole deck is not the only variant of this deck. We also have, as I said, the Mimikyu list. We also have, which is probably a bit more famous, the Feraligatr list. Feraligatr and its evolution line have an attack that will switch out. It will switch out the user, and you can put as an active any other Pokemon. This means that thanks to cards like Relicanth, let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. This is Crocodile, which has Reverse Thrust, doesn't do too much damage, but says switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. The target is usually going to be Milotic CX or the Mimikyu I was talking about. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent EX or B Pokemon. B Pokemon have recently rotated 07. And thanks to Relicanth, each of your evolved Pokemon, says Memory Dive, can use any attack from its previous evolution. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack. This means that despite you still having Feraligatr, which has only one attack, Giant Wave, that you cannot use in your next turn, you can use Crocodile. So with Feraligatr and Giant Wave, you can KO an eventual out. Some people have used single prize attackers to deal with this. With Feraligatr, you can take it out, and if anything enters, you use Crocodile's Reverse Thrust and switch back to Milotic or Mimikyu. Some lists even run Cornerstone Ogerpon. So, you may say these are all frail Pokemon. Munkidori is there to basically heal them back and damage your own Pokemon, putting them in range of even the simple Reverse Thrust from Crocodile or the Giant Wave from Feraligatr. This card is inherently enabling so many degenerate strategies, alongside with the whole design idea behind Pokemon being totally immune from damage, which is a practice I really disagree with. I understand that the X attackers are very powerful, but creating Pokemon that are completely immune from their damage, I think is not the way to go. Reduce damage? Yes, sure, okay. If this Milotic said takes half of the damage, I would have said, yeah, okay, fine. The problem is, it's not the case. These Pokemon are completely immune, and you may need a single prize attackers. Single priced attackers are dealt with cards like Feraligatr, or alternatively the Frostless Munkidori list, which is also very annoying. And as you can see as I'm searching, these decks are not too bad. Like, these decks do make the tops. You can see here Frostless deals passive damage, and there you have again Munkidori. This card is just the big protagonist. It's a massive support for all the degenerate strategies you can see used by Walls, Frostless, and all the variation of this card. This card, along with cards that completely negate damage, such as Milotic, Farigiraf, Terrapagos, are very anti-game. Like, these cards literally stop the game, stop your opponent from playing. Like, it's become a solitaire. And the worst part is, post rotation, these kind of decks are actually picking up on usage because they're extremely powerful. We lost in rotation the Canceling Cologne, which was used as an out for this Pokemon. We don't have that anymore, and we are not going to have it unless they reprint it. Plus, they use cards like the Gemming Tower. They use Iono to remove cards you possibly have searched, but everybody uses Iono, so it's not too much of a problem. So yeah, this is all made better not only by a very bad game design, in my opinion, but also the opportunity for Monkidori to be there and support these shenanigans very efficiently, especially cards like the Froslas, which will put damage counters on your own Pokemon. Why do you care? You can just put them on, remove them with Monkidori and put them on your opponent. The Feraligator puts damage counters on itself and boosts his damage. Why do you care? It puts on itself 5 damage counters. 3 of those 5 damage counters are going to be removed by Monkidori. So, Monkidori is basically enabling semi-immortal strategies. And even if you get a KO on one of these Pokemon, they're played on more than one copy. So, it's an infinite loop, and Monkidori is a solid base for each of these decks. And the worst part is, this card is very common. This card is very cheap. Everybody can play this deck. This deck is also very cheap. Like, Milotic EX is the most expensive Pokemon. Like, literally, it's $10. Like, come on now. This is the worst design card ever. Because of the stuff it's enabling. Like, if this Monkidori didn't exist, I feel like people will still have the opportunity to get Milotic out in, if not one shot, 2 hits, perhaps. But since Monkidori is there to remove some of that damage, that 2-hit KO becomes a 3-hit KO, and so on. And perhaps Milotic will even put your Pokemon asleep. Like, even if you play a single priced attacker, like the Ancient Box Non-EX Moon, you probably won't one-shot immediately this Milotic. But why does the player care? They can just Adrena Brain, put damage on your own Moon, and then attack with Hydro Splash and put it to sleep. So, these are some examples on why Monkidori is the worst card of this game, as for right now. The wall cards are also this is a big circle of hell for these particular cards, okay? But Monkidori, I feel like personally, with how it heals the wall Pokemons, is bringing the flag of this deck. Is exactly what it's making it even worse. Because as I said, without this guy healing the Pokemon, you could probably kill them. You could probably KO them with a single priced attacker. Okay? But since you are getting healed... So, this is all I had to say. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with Monkidori and his friends are the worst card of the game. Let me know on the comments below, and I hope to see you again in the future. Goodbye!